Raw starts off with Liv Morgan. She started cutting just a bad promo overall. But then Bianca comes out and she basically ends up suggesting they have a tag match due to the interaction they had last week. Then Liv Morgan tries to play mind games. She starts mentioning how Bianca thinks she's the best in the world, but she says that Jade thinks the same thing as well, and that they don't have a real true bond, that they only together because of the tag titles. But then Bianca kind of sees through it a bit. Adam Pearce comes out, tries to be a peacemaker in the whole situation. And then as Bianca is leaving, Liv Morgan ends up saying that Jade needs to watch her back before Bianca stabs her. Before Bianca stabs her. And then Liv just kept talking and talking and talking. And then Bianca finally attacked her. Thank God, because Liv Morgan was annoying me during the promo. Then Adam Pearce ends up announcing that there's going to be a battle royal for the Raw Women for Liv Morgan's World Heavyweight Championship match. I don't know why I was going to say the Raw tag title. This was overall, I like the setup. Just the promo itself with Liv Morgan talking so much was kind of throwing me off because, oh man, the promos are still hard to get by. But overall, I get what they was going for. This is decent. After the match, they end up setting up the battle royal. Io Sky is up picking up the victory. I liked it. I like having the battle royal because they needed a challenger for Liv Morgan while Rhea Ripley is out, and this is playing perfectly until what I'm assuming they're going to do is for the next month or two, write her off TV. She'll probably come back around December because there's no reason for her to come back in November unless you may want to do something for Survivor Series, which there's really no point. We don't need Rhea Ripley as Survivor Series. Then she comes back at the Rumble and wins it. This is interesting. It is interesting that they're playing two feuds at the same time while she's champion. So she's going to be getting a tag feud and a singles feud, which I actually kind of like because no offense to Io Sky, but we do not need a singles build to Io Sky and Liv Morgan. Now, it's probably going to happen on Raw anyway, but we do not need a singles feud for that. So she could, put some more time into that tag feud with Bianca and Jay because we do not need a singles feud with Io Sky. I like Io Sky, but Io Sky and Liv Morgan building up a match, just no. Please no. So overall, I like what they did here. After this, we end up getting a Y6 segment. They end up kidnapping The Miz. I saw the clip when Kofi Kingston and Xavier was talking on Raw Talk. I saw the clip of Miz getting kidnapped in the background. He ends up getting kidnapped. And he got duct tape all over his mouth, tied up in a chair. And then they finally, take the duct tape off. And he's trying to plead his case. He's like, look, I'm not the one you're after. You're at the Final Testament, bro. I'm the good guy in this situation. You need to be going after them. Bo Dallas laughs it off and basically says, we was never after them. We're only after you, which makes sense because they go after people that stab their friends in the back. Final Testament has never stabbed anyone in the back, so it actually makes sense that they only go after The Miz. It never made sense to me that they go after the Final Testament. It's because the Final Testament don't stab people in the back in terms of their friends and family. They just go after people in general, where The Miz actually kind of stabbed R-Truth in the back. But to be fair, he had good reasons to, but still. So I'm interested to see how this feud plays out, and I like the whole kidnapping thing. I don't know what it is about kidnapping on WWE television. Tony D'Angelo does it, and now the Wyatts are doing it. I don't know. I just find it hilarious, and I think it's very entertaining. It's just very shocking that they do that. I just think it's cool. It just gives off a very badass type vibe when they do this when a character does it. So I enjoyed this. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Now we end up getting Sami Zayn. He was about to cut a promo, but then Jey Uso ends up coming out and he ends up saying that, thanking Sami for the help, but he ends up asking him, was the kick on Roman on accident? Then Jimmy Uso comes up before Sami can answer. He says, look, we already know Sami did it on purpose, and we can't trust Sami Uso. We can't trust him. Sami ends up saying that Jimmy has a very bad track record in terms of trusting, because he was the one that initially started the initial not the initial attacks. He was the one that attacked Sami first when Sami and Roman first, wasn't getting along. He was the first one to attack Roman during the initial breakup when, Jay and Jimmy first was breaking up. I think that was at Night of Champions, if I'm not mistaken. And he was the first one to attack Jay. So it is a coincidence that he is the first one to attack all of them. It is very shocking that he is the one to attack all of them, which is very crazy when I really think about it. Then he ends up mentioning how before him and Jay was tight, him and Jimmy was tight, which is very true because Jay was the one initially was the one that didn't like Sami Zayn. Now the roles are reversed with Jimmy not liking Sami and Jay is being close. So that is a very interesting dynamic, and that was a good point that Sami Zayn brought up. Then Sami ends up mentioning how he doesn't really hate Jimmy. He doesn't have no hatred towards him, and that Jimmy is not a bad guy. He just makes bad choices. Then I think it came down to afterwards, he ends up saying that, he ends up mentioning how much he loves Jay, but he basically says this is the end. He said that for a moment at Crown Jewel, it felt good with the four of them fighting side by side, but it didn't last that long, and it ended the same way how he thought it was going to end, and that he's done. He's done with the bloodline. He ain't getting involved. Then Jey Uso gets on the microphone because Sami ends up leaving the ring. He ends up telling him that, look, come down to SmackDown so all four of us could talk this out. And then Jimmy ends up saying that he ain't family, but then Jay responds back, says that he was wrong. He is family. Then he ends up getting some honorary Sami Uso chants, which was a very good moment. And so most likely we're going to get Sami Zayn on SmackDown. See that interaction between the four of them, which should be very interesting, especially between him and Roman, because Jay and Roman, it makes sense for them to make up because, you know, they're actually family, but Sami and Roman, because Roman, I know Roman hates Sami the most because that was different because Roman brought in an outsider inside the family, and then when he got betrayed. So I'm very interested to see Roman and Sami Zayn's dynamic because, man, I know they're not going to make up on the first interaction. They're just not. They're gonna slowly build this up. They're not going to make them on the first interaction. They just can't. Like, they're just not. But this was really good. I really enjoyed this event. This was a really amazing segment. I love this. This is great. I can't wait to see what they do on SmackDown. Now we end up getting the main event, the Fatal 4-Way match, No One Contendership match for the World Heavyweight Championship match. This was a really great match, but towards the end of the match, Bronson Reed comes out and causes havoc, man. He causes havoc the entire match because it was a no disqualification. He immediately goes after Seth Rollins. Then he ends up attacking not Bronson Reed. He ends up attacking Damian Priest, Sheamus. He ends up hitting Damian Priest and Sheamus with a tsunamis, took them out the way. Then he ends up attacking Seth Rollins again, putting him on the announce table, and ends up hitting a tsunami on the announce table. This is great. This was a really great moment. But then afterwards, Dominic Mysterio was hiding during this entire sequence. He was hiding, trying to take advantage. He goes for the frog splash, but Damian Priest ends up breaking the pin. Thank God. He breaks the pin. Then Damian Priest takes advantage and ends up picking up the victory on Dominic Mysterio, if I'm not mistaken. This was great. I love that Damian Priest, the next challenger for Gunther. They're probably going to run that at Survivor Series, so thank God, because I was like, please do not have Dominic Mysterio win, because we do not need a Dominic Mysterio Gunther match. We do not. Because if we have that match, that's just going to be another version of that Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio match that happened last year, Money in the Bank. And we all know how that match played out. So we do not need another one of those. So glad we have that match. That match should be a banger. Love the Bronson Reed push. Love it. This is great. Keeping him built strong, having him take out everyone. This is great. Now, the only thing is with this attack, is Sheamus going to get involved in this match? Because technically, Sheamus got screwed out of this match. Now, Damian Priest got attacked as well, but the difference is that Damian Priest won the match, so he doesn't have a reason to attack Bronson, where Sheamus lost the match. So I wonder, is Sheamus going to get involved in this feud? Because I really don't want Sheamus to get involved in this feud, or unless it's just going to be two separate feuds, which I wouldn't mind. A Sheamus and Bronson Reed feud while he's feuding with Seth Rollins. I wouldn't mind that, actually. That would actually be dope. Because, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how these stories plays out. This was a good episode of Monday Night Raw. You guys let me know your opinions down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.